Okay, one of the things that I find really fascinating is rivers. Rivers always look like, to me, root systems. And as we're looking at the trees, I just want to show you, I'm just showing you through maps here how the river goes. But it's the way they splinter off like this, right? So you got the river, but then you got these splintering off, kind of like the foothills, right? Because this is by Calgary. It's like the foothills, right? And then it would go in. That would be like a root. A root would do this. It would just go anywhere it could to try to find water. Could we be looking at, when we're looking at these, the ancient tree system? And could it be that the tunnels that they talk about, that they say that the elites built and they've got, were just roots that they fortified? Root systems where the trees, the organic material died out. You have to rethink everything because, it was the Book of Enoch. I'm pretty sure it is the Book of Enoch that talks about how all the angels were sent down to cut down all the giant trees. And we know those are in legends. We hear about the giant, jolly green giant, and all of these different. So what are we looking at, guys? What are we truly looking at when we're looking at our world? Could our world have had massive trees at one time that protected, that we didn't need oceans and we didn't have all of this? Because the ancients talk about it being really one landmass. And if you have trees that are huge, hold on. So if you have massive trees that are sucking up all of the water and are bringing out, keeping the air moist, things would be larger because there'd be more oxygen. So you would get giants and you'd get giant trees. You would get giant trees. Look at this. Could the rocks, the mountains, and the volcanoes, because volcanoes are really, really interesting. They're a super interesting thing because what happens out of them, we get, lava, we get hot stuff, we get water, the mountains. We get water falls from mountains. Look at these plateaus. Never look at the world again the same way, guys. You won't look at it again. You won't look at mountains the same way. How did they form in the first place? Petrification actually happens very quickly. I have done a number of videos again on petrification, on how quickly it can be instantaneous. They've even talked about the sun. If the sun goes to a certain frequency, instantaneous. So now when you're looking at those kind of landscapes again, what do you really see? So they go down, and they could go down really, really deep. They pull up nutrients. So read from the fruit of the tree. The fruit of the trees. The whole system, our whole system was on this at one time. The connection, the spiritual connection, the trees, they still tell us a lot. I mean, that sounds silly, but there's a lot of tree whisperers out there that talk to trees and believe that the trees actually have a memory of our earth. You can go with the glacier, that it did this to our environment, but we know we did this to our environment. And what is this? Is this a crater? Is this a crater, or is this the end of a tree? Because you see, if you don't take a tree, because like if you're trying to get rid of a really big tree, you have to usually pull out the roots for it to stop living, because they will start to grow again. Look at this giant seed from a giant tree. These are all over the world. We see these, and people are thinking that because they're not sprouting, that there's some type of other objects, but there's thousands of these all over the place. These round, huge balls, and some of them are like 6 feet tall. Again, if the tree is not dead, it will continue to pull up water. It'll continue to grow underground, and it will continue to grow over, and you will start to have sprouts of trees on it. Okay? And those that are really, really still alive are volcanoes, because that is where we get the oil from. It's the trees. It's where we get the tunnels from. It's where we get our oxygen from. It is the life of this planet. And now we only have small trees, so we're smaller. Anyways, that's another part to show you. We lived in a different environment, and up until still to this day, they are destroying the giant trees, the small giant trees that we still have left. But can you imagine, after you chop down all these trees, where's the water gonna go? Well, how is the atmosphere going to work? We're gonna get mud floods, and you get it, the mud floods. That's what happens when you take down all the trees. So yeah, maybe the angels came and took down the mountain-sized trees, but we've been doing that